The Fourth Power is one of the most outstanding works of Juan Giménez's prolific career. The comic book is known for its stunning artwork, which showcases Giménez's skills as a master illustrator. The highly detailed, realistic style of his drawing brings this futuristic world to life. The Fourth Power is the story of an imperfect society, of an endless war without a hint of hope. Juan Giménez was an Argentine comic book artist, considered one of the most important and influential comic book artists in the science fiction genre, with a career that spanned over 5 decades. But besides being an excellent artist capable of creating images that could take anyone's breath away, he also stood out as a scriptwriter. Before tackling the creation of the Fourth Power, Giménez had already developed a script for Matter of Time and Eternal Game. That is how, in 1989, Juan Giménez published The Fourth Power in the numbers 66 to 72 of the Son 84 magazine, which was previously known as 1984 or 1984 and was the Spanish version of the American magazine of the same name. Giménez had already worked previously in this magazine in stories such as War 3 and Black Star, with the scripts by Ricardo Barreiro of the previously mentioned Matter of Time. In this story, Juan Giménez shows all his talent creating sequences with an extraordinary level of detail that impresses the most assiduous comic book reader. The artist develops a visual spectacle with spaceships battling in the sky, exploding in watercolor, and a level of realism that at times makes it difficult to believe that it is a comic book from the late 80s. The Argentinian artist develops a story full of great ideas and action sequences that unfold in a beautiful chaos. However, it seemed that at the beginning of this saga, he focused mainly on the drawing, leaving aside the script that then tries to fit it into the visual part. But then in later issues, an improvement is noticed at the narrative level, making the story make better sense. The Fourth Power is based on a futuristic dystopian society where expectations of a better life for the future are conspicuous by their absence, in part because of the constant presence of war. This story reflects the somewhat pessimistic vision of the author.
I celebrate intimately when I watch a movie where the character goes wrong and loses. Because even if he is a hero, things can go wrong and fail. And in this case, I followed this pessimistic principle. On the other hand, sometimes I'm afraid of being a moralist.
The story begins with the kidnapping of 3 beautiful women, and suddenly we jump into the sky to a futuristic war where we follow the action of a pilot named Exeter Mega engaged in a battle with a Chromium, an extraterrestrial race that is at war against the Earthlings on the planet Nebulae Alpha. The Earth and the Chromium had been at war on the planet Nebulae Alpha for hundreds of years, without either of the two armies tipping the contest in their favor. The Chromium government then undertook the Q-84 project, by which they intended to find the most powerful mind in the universe among the 4 women they had chosen for military purposes. But one of those women is not willing to collaborate, so the QB4 project, the pilot, Mega Exeter, escaped the control of the government and took refuge in Antiplana, a planetoid lost in space and full of casinos, brothels, and other slums, where she would hardly go unnoticed, neither for her beloved nor for her enemies. The story takes a turn when Exeter Mega meets a scientist named Ken, and he confesses that she is the 4th member of the Q-84 project that aims to form the ultimate warrior by artificially fusing her mind with the 3 other women with similar powers who were kidnapped at the beginning of the comic. But the project to create this new being could result in an unimaginable abomination for its creators and put an end to a war or start a new one. One of the most notable aspects is its use of science fiction concepts to explore philosophical and ethical issues. The story raises questions about the nature of power, the relationship between technology and humanity, and the consequences of playing with forces beyond our control. All this in a great story, with plenty of action, humor, social criticism, with a beautiful and dangerous protagonist who is not willing to give up. The Fourth Power comic book series by Juan Giménez consists on 4 volumes: Supramental, Murders on Antiplona, Green Hell, Iceland, D7. Giménez's artwork in this story has a strong sense of depth and perspective, which gave his illustrations a 3-dimensional quality. His ability to create complex and imaginative worlds and characters with a particular emphasis on the intricate machinery and technology of science fiction settings is reflected in each of the pictures of this comic book. Giménez's stunning artwork in The Fourth Power has also had a significant impact on the world of comics. His highly detailed, realistic style brought the futuristic world of the series to life and set a new standard for the level of detail and realism in science fiction comic book art, which he would later use in his best-known saga, The Meta Barons, with the writer Alejandro Jodorowsky. Many comic book artists have cited Giménez as an influence on their own work. The Fourth Power is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the need to respect the natural order of the universe. It is a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest power we can possess is the wisdom to know when to let go of our desire and accept our limitations.